It's Ash from Super Videos back for another. It's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream. So I just had a glitch. The live stream kind of stopped, so I'm back now. So this is gonna be a weekly live stream. This is gonna be the one going into episode 5 of The Walking Dead. So we just saw episode 4, and we saw a lot of Kingdom members die, and we saw Shiva's death. Now, one thing I want to mention before people kind of pop up and join the chat is that in the review that I did, it seemed like I was very disappointed about the episode and everything like that, but that's not true. I had more expectations of the episode, but that doesn't mean that I was very disappointed with it. I enjoyed the episode for what it was. I did have a few problems with a few scenes here and there, but overall, I did enjoy the episode. It's just that I had a bit more expectations for it. And maybe it was just that day I wasn't feeling that episode. But, watching it again, I do enjoy it for what it is. But let's just, get a conversation going. Now, one thing I want to mention is that they recently released a new teaser for the next episode, episode 5. I did a very long teaser breakdown for it. There's some very interesting things going on there. So, we could discuss that here as well. But, we can just wait for a few more people to pop up. So we have AJYT Abbott saying, "Rest in peace, my Kingdom peeps." Yeah, I agree. A lot of them we didn't really know, but for a few of them, Alvaro was one, Danielle was the other one. We kind of saw them here and there, so they were big losses for King Ezekiel, but for us, they was just Kingdom members that we knew or saw once or twice. Squidward, the Almighty Meme God says, "My hero, thank you, I appreciate it." AJYT Abbott, "Some guy might be my favorite episode this season so far." And I could definitely see why. Like I said, I had a few problems with it, but I wasn't disappointed with the episode. I might have said it, I might have presented my opinions in the wrong way. I had a few problems with it, but I wasn't disappointed with it. I didn't think it was the worst episode, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. It could have been way, way better. Squidward, the Almighty Meme God says, "Why does it feel like The Walking Dead is forgotten about?" It's true that at this point there are a lot of people that don't really talk about it that much, mainly because there are other shows that people are focusing on. King of Thrones, Stranger Things, Westworld. These are just the other kind of shows that I hear about that's very hot at the moment, Stranger Things being one of the main ones. That's why people kind of forgot about Walking Dead a little bit. And I think season 7 had a lot to do with it as well, because it wasn't the strongest season. So that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. And after that, it seems like a good amount of audience members just left. But I feel like if they continue doing episodes like they've been doing for season 8, the audience members will come back and the viewers will come back. So I definitely think in the long run, it'll be okay. But at this point, it does seem like people either have problems with The Walking Dead and they bring up things from the episode that are not really things that we need to focus on, and they seem to have a problem with everything. But in the long run, I feel like it will get better. AJYT Abbott, "This could be the best front half of a season ever." Let me think. Season 6. I think season 6's first half was better, or the first 4 episodes were better at this point. But it's not all about being action-packed. Yeah, this is the most action-packed first season that we're seeing. But in terms of how it's broken up and, how much it progresses the story, I feel like they could have done it a little bit better. It's not terrible, but they could have done it a lot better. But in terms of it being the best first half of a season, I don't agree. I think the first half of season 6 were still better. Squidward, the Almighty Meme God says, "This here coolest shit in the comics and nobody cares." Yeah, so this is definitely the most exciting story arc from the comics. All Out War is the main things from the comics that everybody talks about, even at this point. But bringing it to the show, I feel like there was a lot of expectations, and maybe that's why we as fans are finding ourselves in a position where we have problems with a lot of things, because we have high expectations. The bar has been raised, and because of that, we feel the way we feel. So maybe we're not judging it appropriately. So maybe we need to look at it for what it is, and to look at All Out War from the show as being separate from the comics, as its own thing, so that when we're judging it, we're not judging it based on the comics. But I do agree with you that it seems like nobody really cares about it in the show, but in the comics, it was a very big deal. AJYT Abbott, Season 5 and 6 had good first halves. Season 7 had 2 or 3 good ones in their front half. Yeah, Season 5's first half was good with the Hunters and, that whole story arc, so I do agree. Season 6, or was that Season 6? What was Season 6's first half? No, Season 6's first half was the quarry and everything, yeah, so No Way Out. So yeah, Season 5 was with the Hunters and everything, so that was a good first half. Season 6's first half was the most chunk of No Way Out were in the first half. So yeah, those two first half seasons were very good. Season 7, yeah, I agree, 2 or 3 good episodes maximum. Yeah, and Season 8 so far, I would say 2 okay episodes and 2 somewhat strong episodes. That's what I would say. Let's go. I think I missed a couple people. Yeah, there we go. GAR Productions. Do you think we'll see a celebrity actor join The Walking Dead? We could. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is a celebrity actor, and he's on The Walking Dead, so we can. But it just depends on whether they want the show to, or whether they want us to feel attached to the show, if you know what I mean. Because if they bring a very recognizable actor, then we might think of them in other movies or TV shows. So it might take away from the experience. Excuse me. So because of that, they might want to stay away from that. I know they did it with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like I said, but I don't know if they want to do that again. If you think about it, the actor that plays Simon, what was his name? Stephen Ogg. Stephen Ogg is a very recognizable character or actor. They have him on the show, so they have been doing that, but not too often. JR Productions, love your videos, by the way. Thank you. I really appreciate all the support you guys have given me. Squidward, the almighty meme god. I love the way you explain things. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think that's important for you to, look at the detail. And I like looking at the detail of things like that. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. AJYT Abbott. I think with Negan making his debut in... Oh, it just jumped. I think with Negan making his debut in tomorrow's episode, people will be tuning in all over. Well, he's coming back. He was there in the first episode as well. But yeah, I do agree that when Negan is there, there's a good amount of fans that tune in just because Negan is in the episode. So I do agree with you there. GR Productions, what episode do you think we'll see the war officially end? That's an interesting question. I think we're going to see All Out War for the majority of the season. So most likely, it's not going to end with the first half. So we're probably going to see it move over to the second half. So I think the official last episode of All Out War will be somewhere like episode 15 or 16. So I think they're going to put All Out War in the entire season. I still agree with that. One thing I want to say before I move on. So this is a 30-minute live stream, just like the other live streams. So we have about 25 minutes left. I think that's a good amount of time so that we're not talking about things that are not about this episode and the next episode. And we're just focusing on what we're seeing in this season so far. Epic Zombie Killer. Hey, do you check out Ratchet and Clank? Yeah, I actually did check that out. And it's just not my thing. I'm not a big fan of those types of games or shows or whatever, so yeah, it's not my thing. But I did check it out. Jig Jig Amanders the Goose. If the Oceanside joined the militia, do you think Netanya is one of the leaders who will give the speech to the soldiers? I don't think so. They could do that, but why would they have all of the leaders making speeches? I get it that they have Rick making a speech and Maggie giving a small speech and King Ezekiel giving this speech, but I feel like it will feel cheesy if they have every leader give a speech. So I don't think they need it for Netanya. JR Productions. Do you think we'll see the Oceanside join the war and also the Scavengers? The Scavengers are definitely going to be back there in the trailer anyway, so they're going to be back. But for Oceanside, I'm not sure. I'm doing a standalone video on that, probably later on next week or the week after, depending on how much time I have. But I do think that they will come back. The question is just when will they be back? Squidward, the almighty meme god. Tony Montana in the Walking Dead's universe. Your thoughts? I don't know who that is. I don't recognize his name, but if it's a very recognizable actor, like I said, they might not want to do that. Epic Zombie Killer. I just jumped again. Epic Zombie Killer. Q&A. I have a feeling that the reason why people are turning on the show is because it's been on for so long and they're kind of getting burned out on it. That's true, but the big part of that is the writers need to bring in new things, make it feel fresh. And when they do that, then that shouldn't really be a problem. But I definitely do agree with you there. AJYT Abbott. I was kind of disappointed that Season 8 premiere wasn't 2 hours, or at least 90 minutes. I assume it was because of the huge Talking Dead special. Yeah, I agree. I think I would rather see a longer episode, like you said, 90 minutes or 2 hours, and make it very cool and exciting than what we got, but make it okay. So I feel like Season 8 was a little disappointing in terms of the expectations I had. They built this thing up where I thought it was going to be the best episode ever, and it wasn't. So, yeah, I kind of agree with you there. Ronnie Thomas says, hi, Ash. Hi, Ronnie Thomas. How are you doing? And then he says, which death was the more saddest, Shiva or Glenn? It's got to be Glenn. You can't compare. It's got to be Glenn. Squidward, the almighty meme god. Kill commercials. Well, it's a TV show, so they have to do commercials, but I do agree that the placement of the commercials and the number of commercials, they could kind of make it a bit better. I do agree there. Epic Zombie Killer, definitely Shiva. I think he might have been answering Ronnie Thomas about the saddest death. I don't agree. I think Glenn's death was sad, more sad than Shiva's death. Squidward, the almighty meme god says, the saddest death is for me. The saddest death is for me. I'm not sure what you mean there. Is the saddest death Shiva or Glenn? Which one? JR Productions. Do you play the Walking Dead Telltale game? If you do you think we'll see Krista come back for Season 4? So no, I don't play Walking Dead's Telltale game. I wanted to, but I just don't have time. There's a lot of things I want to do, but I just don't have the time. So that's on my list of things I want to do, definitely. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Ezekiel and Carol will have a romance? It's possible, definitely. It's definitely a possibility that Carol in the show is taking over Michonne's comic arc in terms of being in a romantic relationship with King Ezekiel. That's definitely possible. I already did a video on that, but I'm going to do another video talking about that as well. So stay tuned for that. Epic Zombie Killer. Shiva's death was way more sadder in the show than it was in the comics. Yeah, I do agree there. Yeah. But I was a bit disappointed about that death. I think if they drew it out a bit more and make it so that it's more realistic, maybe Shiva just gets bitten and doesn't, get devoured by the walkers and slowly dies, that would have been better in my opinion. It would have been more impactful for King Ezekiel as well. and for the audience, and I feel like that would have been a better route for them to go in the show. JR Productions. The Walking Dead isn't going to end anytime soon. I think it's only like halfway done. Yeah, I agree it's nowhere close to being done, but the big question is how much fans are still gonna come back in one season, in 2 seasons. So we can't yet kind of say how much is left, but I do agree that it's early for it to end. AJYT Abbott, it's just a kick to the gut when I realized that the 100th episode, the huge celebration episode, was just an okay episode. Yeah, I agree there. Like I said, it wasn't a terrible episode, but it wasn't a mind-blowing episode either. It was just an okay episode. And for the 100th episode, I had bigger expectations. Squidward, the almighty meme god. My death was the saddest in The Walking Dead. Who were you in The Walking Dead? That's the big question here. AJYT Abbott, SuperVideos. If you ever have a chance, they are actually releasing all 3 The Walking Dead Telltale Games seasons in December. Just a heads up. Appreciate that heads up. I will try to check it out. Like I said, there's a lot of things I want to do, but I don't get a chance to do them, so it's definitely on my list. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Ezekiel is broken? He's more than broken. I think he is lost at the moment. So it's going to be interesting to see how he pulls himself up and back into being the leader of the group. JR Productions. Do you think we can get a Walking Dead comic spin-off, like totally different characters? Not a Walking Dead comic spin-off. I don't think that Robert Kirkman has that in his plans. They might do backstories or things like that, just like Here's Negan, but not complete spin-offs. I don't think so. JR Productions, same universe. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. Epic Zombie Killer. It just doesn't make sense how weak walkers can take out a powerful tiger. Yeah, and that goes back to the realistic aspect of it. I don't think it was realistic the way it was done. In the comics, it might have worked, but in the show, I definitely feel like that's one of the things they needed to change for it to feel right for the show. Ronnie Thomas. Imagine Ezekiel had a lion instead of a tiger. I think a tiger is better. However, they needed to make it a bit more realistic the way he died. Squidward, the almighty meme god. I'm Squidward. I understand that, but I don't know which character you're talking about. I'll give it to you. Your death was the saddest. I'll give that to you. AJYT Abbott. Do you think Ezekiel will now ditch the whole King act? I think he will in the short term, but I think long term he needs to go back to that in order to make his people feel like they can feel safe around him. Because if he doesn't, then he doesn't seem like a stable person. I don't want him to go back to his theatrics and things like that, but I don't want him to just say, I'm not your leader, I'm not your king. You know what I mean? I think it needs to be a balance between that. JR Productions. We need more Walking Dead content. I agree, but we need good Walking Dead content, not just any Walking Dead content. That's important there. JR Productions. There's never enough. Like I said, the quality matters. Squidward, the almighty meme god. LOL, I'm just joking with you. Yeah, I get that. And that's why your name is meme god, right? You're a good meme person. Ronnie Thomas, do you think Shiva could return as a walker animal? No, I don't think so. I hope they don't do that because it would feel weird and doesn't make sense. So I hope they don't do that. Epic Zombie Killer. I think now that Shiva is gone, King Ezekiel will hand leadership over to Carol, especially after losing his best friend. They could go that route, but again, I feel like they should stay with King Ezekiel being the leader for the war. So I don't think they should change anything there. AJYT Abbott. It doesn't make sense to me in the show with the saviors seeing Shiva and not just killing her right there. They could have easily shot her back in Season 7's finale. Yeah, that goes back to how realistic an episode can be. The finale of Season 7 definitely had that problem. The other is, how the hell does Shiva know who to kill, who not to kill? That's another part that is not realistic. So those two definitely, I agree with you. AJYT Abbott. It didn't make sense to... Oh, I just read that. Ronnie Thomas, do you think we could see Animal Walker? I don't think it's a good idea to do that. Let's just say that. JR Productions. Who do you think will be the last people standing when the show ends? If it gets to that point where there has to be only a few characters left, then I would say maybe Rick, maybe... I wouldn't say Daryl. I think that the safe thing to say is for him to be there, but I don't think it's the best thing for that. I think it's better for them to kill Daryl off earlier than that. So I would say Rick and maybe Carol, maybe Carl, Michonne, something like that. Squidward, the almighty meme god. Got another funny meme. I'm waiting for it. Cayenne Farah. You gay? No, I'm not. Epic zombie killer. I'm just saying Ezekiel is going to be depressed for a while because the tiger was everything to him. Shiva was his best friend. Yeah, I do agree, and I do agree that he's going to be a broken man for now, but I don't think that they should have him be broken for too long. We already saw that with Rick, so I don't want a repeat of that. So I hope they don't do that again. I hope it's a bit different. Squidward, the almighty meme god. Rick Grimes played by Tobey Maguire. That would feel odd. So I can't see anyone other than Andrew Lincoln playing Rick at the moment. So it would feel very odd in my opinion. Ronnie Thomas, do you think there could be a traitor at Alexandria? I don't think so. I think that would just complicate things. At the moment, we already have Dwight being on the other side and everything going down. So to add a traitor to Rick's group, that would just complicate things. And it would focus or change the focus towards that more than the war itself. When they're at war, I think it's better just to focus on that and not the spy aspect of things or the traitor aspect of things. AJYT Abbott, I know that creepy CGI deer from Say Yes got a lot of fans disinterested in the power of this show and what they could do. Yeah, that CGI deer was terrible. I don't know what they were smoking when they had that CGI tiger or the CGI deer in there. So, yeah, I agree there. After that, a lot of fans were like, what the hell is this? I do agree there. JR Productions, do you wish Shane could have lived longer? No, I love the way he went. I love his arc, and I think they did a good job with Shane's character development and the way they killed him. So I wouldn't change anything about that. AJYT Abbott, do you think Father Gabriel will take Holly's story arc, even though Sasha kind of did already? No, I think they already did it with Sasha, so they're not going to do it again. I think they might do a big remix of it, and something like something where it feels close to that, but not exactly the same. They could do that, but I don't think that they need to remix it or make it feel exactly the same, because they already did that. Epic Zombie Killer, do you think Shiva should have died? I think they could have kept her on a bit longer. They could have, but they didn't because of CGI costs. They let her go earlier so that they could use some of that cost or that budget to spend on other things. So maybe a smart decision there. Ronnie Thomas, what happens if Andrew Lincoln dies? Will the show end? I hope it doesn't get to that point, not because of the show, but because I don't want anyone to die. But if that happens, then it's going to be tough. I think they're better off just ending the show altogether, because it doesn't make sense, or not ending it altogether, but changing it, remixing it completely, changing it from the comics, and, you know, killing Rick off in the show, because it just feels weird and it wouldn't make sense. So I hope it doesn't get to that point, not because of the show itself, but also because I don't want Andrew Lincoln to die, because he seems like a cool guy. Squidward, the almighty meme god, for sure. I don't know what you're referring to, but maybe you're talking about that meme thing you were talking about. GAR Productions, could you imagine Dwayne Johnson on The Walking Dead? Dwayne Johnson on The Walking Dead. As a walker, it would be cool. Squidward, the almighty meme god. Shiva was Ezekiel's hero. Yeah, I agree. AJYT Abbott, do you think we get out a trailer Negan and Gabriel could use the Walker Guts trick? Yeah, like I said, I did the teaser breakdown, and that's exactly what I talked about in that teaser breakdown. That could be what we're seeing. So if you're interested on my thoughts about that, you might want to check that video and, hear my thoughts on that. Squidward, the almighty meme god. If Dwayne Johnson and Tobey Maguire were in The Walking Dead, my life would be complete. That would be weird. That would be very, very weird. Very, very weird. And yeah, I don't think it would be good. Ronnie Thomas. AJYT spoiler. Oh, you're saying that he is talking about a spoiler. Well, I already knew about that anyway, or I speculated anyway, because I talked about it in my teaser breakdown. But if it's true, then whatever. No spoilers here, but if that was spoiled, then whatever. It's not a big spoiler anyway. JR Productions, do you think Otis will come back? LOL. No, he's not going to come back. Epic Zombie Killer. In the trailer, there's a scene where Carl is getting attacked by walkers and he falls onto a dead animal carcass. Is that Shiva? Did he go to where Ezekiel was? Yeah, it definitely does look like Shiva, and I even said that when the trailer came out, way before. So, I think that could be what we're seeing. AJYT Abbott. Now I'm just visioning Daryl fighting and beating up a walker, The Rock. I don't think Daryl will have I don't think he would be able to kill the walker or anything. I think it would be bye-bye Daryl if that happens. GR Productions, do you think Daryl is alive in the comics, just somewhere else? No, I don't think so. Daryl is a TV show only character. He doesn't exist in the comics. AJYT Abbott, if it's true, I'm sorry, SuperVideos. No worries. I already speculated anyway about that gut scene, so I already knew that something like that might happen, so it's not a big spoiler for me. But we're trying to keep the channel spoiler free as much as possible. So we're about 28 minutes in. I would say a couple more minutes. I'll give it a couple more questions, or I'll answer a couple more questions, and then that would be it for this live stream. This was a very good live stream. A lot of cool and interesting questions. For those of you that are very interested on my thoughts about the Walker Guts trick that Negan and Father Gabriel might be using, and anything about the next episode in terms of what we saw in the promo and the trailer, or the teaser, go and check my teaser breakdown. It's a very long one, about 17 minutes, but I go into detail and I break down every scene in there, and I think that I'm right on most of them, or I hope I am. So we'll see what happens. JR Productions. I want more badass people like Rick and Daryl in The Walking Dead. Yeah, I agree. Ronnie Thomas. Do you think Here Negan comic will be adapted to the show? I think it might be, but I think it'll be like a webisode or something like that. I don't think it'll be in the actual show, like in any season that we see. I think it'll be a separate thing. Squidward, the almighty meme god. I made this stream fun. You definitely did. Epic Zombie Killer. When do you think we'll see the scene where Carl falls onto Shiva's dead body? And why do you think he went there? I already answered that. I don't know why he would be there, but it appears that he is definitely there. AJYT Abbott. Do you think there will be more Season 1, Season 8 reflections or references? Definitely. This whole season, I think we will keep seeing that over and over again. Scott Gimple, the showrunner, already said that we will, and we've already seen a lot of that. Not just in the first episode, in the 100th episode, but episode 2, 3, and 4. And it seems like we're going to see more of that in episode 5 as well. And that's most likely going to continue all the way to the end of the season. GAR Productions. We need awesome leaders in The Walking Dead. Yeah. I think we already have some great leaders. We have Rick, we have Ezekiel, we have Maggie. But yeah, more leaders, great leaders will definitely be good. Ronnie Thomas, maybe it's where he dies. Shiva, yeah, Shiva is definitely dead there. If that's what you're referring to. If it's any spoiler, please don't talk about spoilers. I feel like this might be referencing another spoiler that came out. So if that's the case, then don't talk about it. No spoilers here. But if that's what you mean, then let's see, how can I answer this in a spoiler-free way? I don't think that's where it happens. Let's just say that. Epic Zombie Killer. What episode will we see that scene? Which scene are you referring to exactly? The Carl and the Shiva body or the carcass thing? Maybe episode 6? I don't think it's episode 5. Maybe 6? JR Productions. What are your thoughts about LeBron replacing Andrew Lincoln as Rick? LeBron James as Rick. That would be cool. Maybe he could play, he could do a couple trick shots with a couple of Walker heads or something like that. But I like who we have as Rick. Alex the Savage Gamer, hi. Hi, Alex the Savage Gamer, how are you doing? Epic Zombie Killer. If that was Shiva, why did the Walkers stop eating her? Yeah, that's a good point. But at some point, I think the Walkers are going to stop eating the body because it's not it's not alive anymore, and it doesn't give out this sort of thing where they're attracted to it, so that might be a reason as well. Alex the Savage Gamer, what do you think of the ratings? Yeah, the ratings are dropping, and that could be looked at as something that should be concerning, but I feel like in the long run, everything's going to be okay. I think for now, episode 1, 2, 3, and 4 have been dropping in ratings. I don't know why that is, because, like I said, the episodes we're getting are not bad episodes, but they're not great episodes. They're just okay episodes. But we're going to have to wait and see if it improves and whether the ratings go up. But I wouldn't be concerned about it at the moment. I'm not concerned, actually. At the moment, everything's okay, I think. AJYT Abbott. Episode 1 had tons. Episode 2 had Morales. Episode 3 had Morgan exiting. Episode 4 had a full on-group massacre. You're talking about the references back to season 1. Yeah, those are some great ones. I think there were even more than that. Episode 5, even the thing we see in the teaser with Rick and Daryl fighting, that's a callback to Shane and Rick fighting. So that's another reference. So yeah. JR Productions, just kidding. I don't know what that's about, but that's okay. Ronnie Thomas, sorry man if I spoil. Don't worry about it. Just no more spoilers. JR Productions, I love Andrew Lincoln. I don't think nobody do Rick better than him. Yeah, I agree. So we're like 34 minutes in, so I'm going to answer 4 more questions, and that's it. Do you think King Ezekiel will blame himself for Shiva's death? That's definitely possible. He feels responsible not only because Shiva had to come and save him and the others, but also because he couldn't go back to save Shiva, just like Shiva saved him. So definitely a bit of blame for Ezekiel there. Or a bit of Ezekiel blaming himself there. JR Productions, do you think we'll see the last of the government in the show? I don't think so. I think they already kind of showed us a bit of that, or at least the military portion of it in Fear the Walking Dead. And at this point, it's way too late for us to touch base with what the government is doing, even if they are existing somewhere. So yeah, I think it's way too late for that. Alex the Savage Gamer, didn't like the premiere, but I did like the first 3. So here's what I would say. The first episode was good. I would say, let's say out of 10, I would give it a 6 or a 7. Episode 2, I would give it the same, a 6 or a 7. Episode 3, same thing, like a 6. Episode 4, somewhere like a 6 or a 7 as well. So they're all falling in that 6 or 7 range. They're not terrible, but they're not great. Most of the great episodes for The Walking Dead, I would give them 9 or 8, 9, 10 ratings. So these episodes that I just talked about, the first 4 episodes, are okay. They're good, but they're not great. Who between Morgan, Carol, or Daryl do you think is going to die? if I had to choose this season, I would say Morgan first, then Daryl, then Carol. JR Productions, that would be lit. I don't know what you're referring to. Yeah. Where was I? Squidward, the almighty meme god. What the Walking Dead character Pennywise would drive crazy? Everybody. Maybe everybody except Negan. Negan will make Pennywise look like a fool. Ronnie Thomas, Rick. What's happened? It just jumped again. I don't know what you mean, Rick. I don't know what you're referring to. Squidward, the almighty meme god. I agree. AJYT Abbott. A theory of mine, do you think Carl will never cut his hair because his mom used to do it and that'll be like cutting Lori out of his life? Could be. That's a good way to explain it, but I don't think that's what they have in mind. Epic Zombie Killer. Do you think Abraham will appear in the Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, and would it be a good idea? I think there's a good chance that he might. Will it be a good idea? I'm split. It would be if they do it right, but it just depends. Depends on how they do it. Epic Zombie Killer. Do you... I just read that. JR Productions. That Savior looked like Jim Carrey. Yeah, I found that too. Yeah, I definitely agree there. I think... Who was it that said that? Yeah. Ronnie Hayes from Make It Path Presents said that as well in his latest video, or one of his latest videos. And yeah, I agree there. Alex the Savage Gamer. Do you think it would be cool to see a civil war after All Out War? No, I don't think they need that. I Squid, the almighty meme god. That was iDubbbz. Yeah. Ronnie Hayes called him iDubbbz, but he did say he looked like Jim Carrey as well. Squidward, the almighty meme god. Turn around, there's a squirrel. AJYT Abbott. Do you think Rick and Daryl fight will affect their brother-like bond? Maybe in the short term, not long term, maybe short term. JR Productions. Do you watch Trev's Chan or Movie Idol? I do watch Trev's Chan a little bit, not too much, but yeah, I watch Trev's Chan, not Movie Idol though. Epic Zombie Killer. At the end of episode 4, do you think Carl felt bad for Ezekiel? Or Carol felt bad for Ezekiel? Yeah, she definitely did. So we're about 39 minutes in, so I think that's good for this live stream. A very good live stream. I had a lot of fun, and there were a lot of great questions asked and everything there. Again, for next week, come back for another live stream, maybe Friday or Saturday, just like today. I will be talking about the events of Season 8, Episode 5, and also talk about what we might see or what we want to see in the next episode, Episode 6. But yeah, that's it for this live stream. Thank you for everybody who participated in the live stream and joined the live stream. I appreciate all of your support and keeping the channel alive and things like that. That's it for this live stream. I'll see you next time for another great video.